Hey, what's going on, everybody? Everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of A Face for Radio. I am your host, the only host, the host for the podcast which you have no interest in and don't care about. It's called A Face for Radio. Do you need my email address again? I'm in a pretty good mood. I just spent the evening with my sister-in-law and my cute as all get out nephew, so I'm in a pretty good mood. That will all soon change when I begin to talk about all these things that I hate. But it's been a while. How have you guys been? You know what? I gotta get a theme song. How many times have I said that? Maybe you should keep a count, and I'll give a prize. It'll be to the person who knows, and that prize will be nothing, which is what you deserve for pointing that out. But, it's going to be a good show. Got some things that have really upsetting me. We'll have a how-to for you later. So here's another episode of A Face for Radio. Episode 16, I believe. 16. It's pretty good. Been doing it for almost 3 months. No, 2.5. 16 episodes in 2.5 months. What is that? 10 weeks? 1.6 episodes a week? That can't be right. I did have that break in April, though, for like 2 weeks. What was the end? No, so 2 months. 2 episodes a week? That ain't bad. But let's get into it. I want to first, let's get the bumper sticker, the Would You Rather question done for the day. I asked last week if you... let's get the question. Episode 15. Okay, so the question I asked on May 25th, so about a week ago, is which of these bumper stickers makes you hate the person driving the vehicle with said bumper sticker the most? We've got a couple options here. We've got Bernie Sanders, a Bernie Sanders sticker. I'm not sure what they are. Feel the Burn or Hope and Bernie or I Love Democratic Socialism or something. Then we have Hillary Clinton, an Obama sticker. My other car is a insert something stupid here sticker. A Trump sticker or the coexist sticker. I know all of you know what a coexist sticker is, but it's one of those ones where each letter in coexist is some sort of religious symbol. Coexist won with 12 votes. Trump was right behind with 7. My other car is an insert something stupid here one that had 1. Obama had 1. Hillary Clinton had 1. Bernie didn't have any, which doesn't surprise me. Bernie is like he's like a retarded dog. Like it's not harmful, but he's cute, He's trying real hard to be normal, but he can't because he's a retarded dog. But the coexist is the right answer. And let me tell you why. I did get into some discussions with some fellow group members about Trump. And I am not, let's just get one thing straight. I am not going to vote for Trump in the 2016 election. But coexist does, I will dislike that person more than the Trump person because this is why. It's going to be hard to get my thoughts together because I'm already upset. But coexist sticker doesn't mean anything. And it's someone... They've ruined their car by placing a sticker on it with an opinion of all religions live in harmony, and it's every religion's fault that there's not harmony between them. When really it's like one religion. And it rhymes with Bislam. That is the problem. And it's obviously not all of the Muslims. Obviously. There's a billion of them out there. If it was a problem with every single one of them, the world would be a lot worse than it is. But so this person that's put on this bumper sticker pretends I'm going to assume, because that's all I can do at this moment, but they assume that they have studied all the I assumed that they haven't studied all of the religions, that they don't understand the differences between the various sects of Christianity or Islam or Buddhism or Zoroastrianism. Uh, Let me look at the symbols on here. Coexist sticker. There it is. Okay, so we've got the C is the crescent. Okay, so for Islam, the O is a peace sign. E is for men and women, which I guess doesn't matter anymore because you get to choose which one you are. The X is the Star of David, so the Jews. The I is that's just an I, or maybe it's something, I don't know what it is. The S is the yin and yang, and the T is a cross, but I think that's more of a Celtic cross. So yeah, it's slacktivism. It's saying, look at how much I care without doing anything. And that's what pisses me off. All bumper stickers are stupid. If you have a bumper sticker, I will make fun of you for it. It doesn't matter what it says. It could say, unless it says, I love a face for radio. And I will come out with stickers, but they're not bumper stickers. They're going to be ones you put on the inside of your window that can be taken off easily. Because I'm not a savage like all those idiots with their bumper stickers. But that is the correct answer. Now, it doesn't surprise me that nobody chose Bernie. It doesn't surprise me really that Hillary only got one vote and that Trump got the most of them. Because Trump... let's see. And everyone who voted for Trump, it all makes sense. I mean, I can see all that. But to suggest that Trump is as bad of a person as Hillary Clinton isn't fair to Trump, because Hillary Clinton is responsible for the deaths of 4 people in Benghazi. And as far as we know, Donald Trump is not responsible for anyone's death. Okay? He could be. I know that someone will point that out that we don't know, but we do know that Hillary Clinton is. And that she's an awful lying whore witch. So there's that. But, yeah. Don't put bumper stickers on your cars, people. Please just... If you have an opinion on something strong enough that you feel like you need to advertise it to everyone you know, get a t-shirt. At least that does something. A bumper sticker just leaves a residue on your car if you try and take it off, and then you have to go get you have to buy something to get that goo off. And then now you're out money for your bumper sticker and the cleaner, when you could just get a t-shirt that acts as a t-shirt, and then you get to tell people what your opinion is of said thing on the t-shirt. Right? Okay? So don't if you have a bumper sticker on your car, it's only allowed if you bought the car and it already had it on there and it's a piece of crap car that you're not going to keep. Then that's fine. But there are some, you know what, but to be honest, there are some acceptable bumper stickers. Wine 'em, dine 'em, 69 'em is acceptable. I'm trying to think of some others. I can't. I remember when I was a kid and I'd get those honor roll bumper stickers from R.E. Tobler Elementary, and I'd give them to my mom and dad and say, we put them on your car because I want them to be proud of me. And they'd say no. And as a kid, you don't understand. But now as an adult, I understand that. And by the way, like, if you're the kind of person who has an honor roll student, you shouldn't be putting things on your car. They should be giving you a static cling sticker, or just give the kid $2. Save the money on all the bumper stickers you just ordered and just give the kid $2, you know? Incentivize the kids to do well instead of by giving them pieces of paper their parents are going to throw away. Listen up, all you elementary school principals. Pull your heads out your asses and stop handing out bumper stickers. Start handing out $2 bills, okay? The signing of the Constitution and or Declaration of Independence and or something else is on the back of that bill, and the kids need to know it. Okay? So that was that. While we're on Facebook, hold on. What is this? Who cares? Alright, hold on, guys. Hold on, gang. How are you guys? How's your week been? Yada, yada, yada. shut up. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys have heard lately, but a gorilla was killed over the weekend, I believe. His name was Harambe. His name, I believe it's a him. It sounds like a him name. But, you know, the gorilla never really identified what it chose to be to us. So I will use the pronoun Z to describe Z. So Z, Harambe Z, was shot because a small child fell into the enclosure. And if you watch the video, the gorilla's being a little rough, as gorillas tend to do. I have never seen gorillas, you know, except with the exception of Coco. I especially male gorillas, I don't think they're known for their genteel nature. Okay, so they shot him. And everyone's upset. Now, I got some questions. Number one, what kind of enclosure is it where a 3-year-old can slip past it? Shouldn't we be having a little more security at the gorilla cage? I mean, I don't want the gorillas getting out. I want them in the cage. Okay? That's where gorillas belong, in cages. Or in Africa. But nowhere else. Okay? Number two, we are blaming the mom, which is good, because it is her fault. But, in the defense of the mother, 3-year-olds are pretty squirrely. They're pretty squirrely little 3-year-olds. And they can, you know, disappear and appear wherever, whenever, pretty much all the time. I've seen 3-year-olds, and they're pretty squirrely. Okay? But, so, they got some animal people's opinions because they haven't been in the news lately, and they needed to be in the news. And Jeff Corwin, who I watched growing up, and I thought he was cool, said that the gorilla shouldn't have been killed. And Jack Hanna, who, I don't know who that is, but I'm sure he's something. But he said, yeah, it should have been killed. And now there's a petition going on online. You know, before I make a statement, let me find out what this petition is. What it says, because it's probably stupid. So it's the Justice for Harambe. So they're going to protest the death of an endangered gorilla who was fatally shot. Okay, I'm going to read this petition. So they're going to protest the death? Okay, well, who gives a shit? It's dead. What the hell do you want us to do about it? Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be swearing. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my gosh, they wrote a whole freaking page? How can I write I'm not going to read a whole freaking page. Oh my gosh, what do these idiots want? Okay. We, the undersigned, believe that. Okay, so this is what they're getting to. We, the undersigned, believe that the child would not have been able to enter the enclosure under proper parental supervision. Shocking. Good effing conclusion, Sherlock. Do you want a medal? Witnesses claim that they heard the child state that he wished to go into the enclosure and was actively trying to breach the barriers. This should have prompted the parents to immediately remove the child from the vicinity. Okay. Again, where's Captain Obvious? Because we need you to salute these people with such genius to figure out this logical chain of events. It is believed that the situation was caused by parental negligence, and the zoo is not responsible for the child's injuries and possible trauma. Maybe. Probably not. We, the undersigned, want the parents to be held accountable for the lack of supervision and negligence that caused Harambe to lose his life. Okay, I don't know what that means, but all right. We, the undersigned, feel the child's safety is paramount in this situation. Do you? Do you believe it? Okay, well then you should agree that the gorilla should have been shot. In fact, it should have been shot in the face. They should have taken a 50 Beowulf AR out and shot the gorilla right in its face. And then looked at all the other gorillas and said, next time you mess with us, shit's going down. Okay, listen up. This is why I hate nature. Look, we invented guns. Gorillas effing didn't. So why the hell should I care what a gorilla thinks? Or feels? Or does anything? Who cares? It's a gorilla. It didn't invent a gun. Little bitch. We believe that this negligence may be reflective of the child's home situation. Yeah, I don't think so. Again, 3-year-olds are pretty squirrely. If you guys ever met 3-year-olds, there's not a good 3-year-old and a bad 3-year-old. There's 3-year-olds. They're all the same, okay? We, the undersigned, actively encourage an investigation of the child's home environment in the interest of protecting the child and his siblings from further incidents of parental negligence that may result in serious bodily harm or even death. Please sign this petition to encourage the Cincinnati Zoo, Hamilton County Child Protection Services, and Cincinnati Police Department to hold the parents responsible. Okay, so the parents are responsible. So what? What do we do? Call Jesus down and have him use his resurrection powers to call this gorilla out from the death, from the freaking grave? Was he going to Lazarus this gorilla? Is that what's going to happen? God, what is wrong with people nowadays? They want us to apologize for everything. Okay, so we apologize. Then what? Let's say this, but let's say these people, the parents of this child, got and they say, we're sorry that our 3-year-old fell in this pit and a little bitch gorilla died because of it. So what? What's going to happen? These people want your head on a stake. They don't want an apology. They have such pitiful lives that the only thing they can do with their day-to-day existence is find things to be pissed off about. Oh shit, look at me. Look at me saying that. Oh, it's coming around full circle. Except the things I get pissed off about actually effing matter. But this is what they do. They cling on to something that doesn't even affect them. This doesn't affect them. Was they in love with this gorilla? Did they have a special connection with this gorilla? Huh? No. They have nothing else to worry about in their life. They either have no real problems or they ignore real problems. Real problems like, I don't know, ISIS maybe taking over the Middle East and destroying women's lives by cutting off their clitorises or hiding them in black trash bags and then beating the shit out of them or killing them because they were raped by some other piece of human trash. That could be a problem. I don't know. Maybe, let's see. North Korea, China, Russia, Cambodia, or all of Africa. Maybe if they turned their rage towards an actual problem, this world might be a little bit better. But no, we have to be upset over a gorilla getting shot because, I don't know, because the new season of Kardashians isn't on yet? Is that why? By the way, I believe this was all set up. Let me tell you why. I believe Harambe, the non-gender fluid gorilla, was murdered in cold blood by that zookeeper. I think it was all set up. I think that zookeeper had had enough of Harambe's shit, literally and figuratively. Okay? This gorilla had been taunting this guy's whole life. This guy's been cleaning up after this gorilla. You know? I'm a human. I don't clean up after gorillas. They clean up after me. Okay? So, the zookeeper goes to bed every night. Nightmares, cold sweats. Can't sleep, insomnia. His wife thinks he's cheating on her, and he feels guilty. And that's why he can't sleep, so she leaves him. She sues him. She takes the kids, his home, everything. Lives in an apartment with a roommate named Greg. And Greg is a dick, and he won't clean up his dishes. And he hasn't paid his share of the internet bill for going on 3 months now. And it slowly starts to eat away at the zookeeper. Till one day he decides that this is all Harambe's fault. And he hatches a plan. He knows how he can be justified in the killing of this beautiful creature that doesn't have enough brain power to invent a firearm. So while the zookeeper, watches, strolls around the cage, the enclosure, looking at Harambe, or Haram, as I'm going to call his name from now on, or her name, whichever one he would have maybe decided upon, or her maybe decided upon. This little 3-year-old boy, doe-eyed, just way excited. He used to be like that. He used to be like this 3-year-old. Hope, had a family, reminds him of his son, who's now 16. Won't even return his father's phone calls. Because of Harambe, this man's family's been taken away from him. He won't have the relationship with his children or his grandchildren that he otherwise might have had. So one day he decides he's going to do it. He's going to put it all into play. He walks past the 3-year-old boy, whistles, turns his head the other way, and kicks him into the enclosure, with his foot. Little boy falls down. Harambe comes over. What an idiot. He took the bait, and the zookeeper knew he would. He knew he would. He knew Harambe. He'd been studying him for years. He knew there was only one option. They couldn't tranquilize him. No. Too close to the boy. What if he gets darted and falls on top of the boy? That's a 600-pound gorilla. You ain't getting that off a boy. Crush him and kill him. What do we do? People are freaking out, screaming. He's already got his gun. 300 Win Mag. Probably, maybe. More likely 308 Winchester. Maybe a 243. Could be a 270. I'm going to say a 300 Win Mag. He's got his sights lined up right on that gorilla's thick, densely matted forehead. Finger on the trigger. Puts that reticle right between his eyes. Right before he squeezes, he says, "See you in hell, you son of a bitch." And then he pulls the trigger. Releases the firing pin, strikes the primer, burns the powder, pushes the bullet down through the barrel, straight into Harambe's head. When he sees the pink mist of Harambe's skull, it's like a ton of bricks coming off his chest. At that moment, a phone call from his estranged 16-year-old son saying, "Dad, you teach me how to throw?" His quivering voice, with a tear coming out his eye, says, "Go long, son. Go long." That's just a thought. Could be. But you know what? Harambe was a dick. And I'm not saying he deserved it. But he also, was asking for it. So, by the way, I hate gorillas driving up the price of bananas. You know how much bananas used to be? And then these buttholes come into the zoos in Africa. They just, that's bullcrap. Good. One less gorilla. Maybe bananas will go down a little bit. Okay? Oh. But this is the real point. Okay? Couple things. Number one, human life is more valuable than animal life in 99.999% of all cases. This doesn't translate to really bad people like El Chapo or Kim Jong-un or Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton. If they were in the cage, then yeah, I would, I'd let Harambe assert his male, let the gorilla do what gorillas do. But the fact is that we're that upset over a gorilla's death really says a lot about not only the general population of this nation, but the media. But you can't blame the media too much because they are a business and they need to get eyes onto the paper. So anything to create a controversy, blah, 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 blah. So there's that. But the other part that really upsets me is the ignoring of all the other problems in the world. We've got actual problems. Not everyone gets to eat as well as we do here in the United States. Not everyone is as free as we are. A lot of places in the world, you don't get to flip on a switch and there's light. You don't get to turn a knob and there's hot water and that you can drink and not die. A lot of places in the world like that. And if we were as pissed off about Harambe being dead as we were about sexual slavery or, people in North Korea being brainwashed and being born into camps where you're treated like a piece of meat by the guards and you live off of rats. Maybe if we were enraged about stuff like that, maybe the world would be a little bit better. But no, we have to be enraged about men who identify as women not being able to use a woman's bathroom or vice versa. And we have to be enraged about gorillas and other stupid bullcrap. So that's just my 2 cents. But my 2 cents is really the only 2 cents that matters. So that's that. Let's talk about something else that pissed me off this weekend. Holy shit, 26 minutes? Jeez. I can really go on for a while, can't I? I'm parched. Let me have a drink for a sec. Oh, that was good. Oh, I went to a concert a couple days ago. That was sweet. I saw Lamb of God and Clutch and Corrosion of Conformity opened up for him. It was pretty freaking sweet. And I went to Yellowstone over the weekend for Memorial Day weekend, and that wasn't so sweet, but more on that later. Let's get into something else that pisses me off, and then we'll end the show. Over the weekend, too, a Korean-American, I believe it's Korean-American, rapper named... Well, let's find out what his real name is. Let's look this up on Wikipedia. Because this is a one-man show, I have to do it all. Here we are. Okay. His name is Park Sung-man. Stage name is Dumbfounded, an American rapper of Korean descent. Okay, so he was born in... Oh, okay. Well, no, he was Argentinian. He was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, to South Korean immigrants. He was smuggled in along with his sister by his mother to Mexico, and then later settled in Koreatown in L.A. I'm not sure. It doesn't say if he's been naturalized, according to Wikipedia, but he may have been. It just might not say it. Anyways, okay, so he's not even American. He's a Korean who was born in Argentina and then smuggled into the U.S. Okay, so over the weekend, this dumbfounded fella, emphasis on dumb, released a music video. What was it called? Oh, crap. Safe, I think is what it was. I didn't watch it because I didn't want to walk over to my gun cabinet and put a gun in my mouth and end my life just yet. So, shite. Okay, look it up on YouTube. Let me just tell you what it is. You guys know what it is. Okay, so it's called Safe. Where what Mr. Dumbfounded did is he took a lot of famous American TV shows, movies, and inserted himself into the lead, and other Asians. So he was, I believe, he was Brady Bunch, Friends, and what's that other one that people think is good, but it's not? Full House. And I think he was Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. Anyways, okay, so he did this, and he did this because he said that Hollywood was underrepresenting the Asians. Asians are being underrepresented in Hollywood. First off, I don't know what that means. Asians are being underrepresented. How much should they be represented? I I saw two figures. One figure said that the population of the United States of America, determined by, in racial terms, 5.6% come from an Asian background. Primarily East Asia, China, Korea, and Japan. And then you had some Filipinos in there. Okay? And then another figure said it was 12.3%, but that sounds really, really high to me. I'm going to go with the 5.6% because that was some census data. Okay, so if 5.6% of the population, in fact, because he's Korean, so there ain't no way in hell he's going to think Chinese people are representing him. So let's just go back real quick and find out how many Koreans. Here it is. They total about 5.6% of the entire U.S. population. Diversity within the group is often overlooked in media treatment. Shocking. Shocking, right? Isn't that insane? Okay, so 5.6 of the population. Let's figure out who was what. Oh, come on. Don't you guys love it? Don't you guys just love me not being prepared and... God, I saw a really good freaking... Okay, right here it is. Okay, so... the largest ethnic groups represented in the census, as in you could choose if you were Asian or not, were Chinese with 3.79 million, Filipino with 3.41 million, Indian 3.18 million, Vietnamese 1.73 million, Korean 1.7 million, and Japanese 1.3 million. Okay, so right there we've got Filipino and Indian. Let me tell you something about Filipinos and Indians. Their culture, their language, their food, everything about them is not what most people would consider Asian. Okay? So, in that music video for Mr. Dumbfounded, I didn't see too many guys named Punjab or Giptar walking around with some lamb vindaloo. I don't know anything about Filipinos, so I can't make any racially insensitive statements about them, but... Okay, so his complaint is that among leading roles, etc., that there's not enough Asians. Well, Dumbfounded, according to... the census, only 5.6% of Americans are Asian. And 1.7 million, there's only 1.7 million Koreans, which you are. And there's 357 million Americans. So, the percentage of that is 0.00476. Okay, so that's that's hold on. That's 0.4%. 0.04%. So you shouldn't ever be represented, Mr. Dumbfounded. Okay? And look, I lived in Japan for 2 years. I dated and was engaged to a Korean. I dated a Japanese girl. I have dated a Mexican, a couple white people, a Canadian. Okay? So the fact that he's Korean doesn't upset me. What upsets me, what this is upsetting, is that he feels that, number one, it's important to be represented in Hollywood, in fictitious movies and television shows, that if there's not an Asian person, that's wrong. Did anybody watch Independence Day and go, this is bullshit? A black Air Force pilot? I'm an Air Force pilot and I'm not black. I don't feel represented. F this movie. Did anybody watch The Equalizer with Denzel Washington or Man on Fire or any of the other awesome movies he's been in and gone, you know what? A black guy doing this, I just don't feel like that is, that I can't represent that. Did anybody watch, God, what's another ethnically diverse movie? As if it matters. What was it? Harold and Kumar? Isn't one of those guys Korean, the other one's Indian? Did any white people watch that and go, there's no way that I could identify with any of this? Okay. So, but you know what? I gotta check my white privilege. Gotta check it real quick. Let me check it. Oh, it's still here and it's doing great. Thank you, white privilege. I have never played a video game. I've never consumed any sort of media and have once thought, because this character is not racially the same as me, I cannot enjoy it. I played Grand Theft Auto 5. The guy was Italian. No, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. The guy was Italian. I enjoyed that game. I am not Italian. I am not of Italian descent at all. I played Tomb Raider, the new one with the chick. What's her name? Lara Croft. She's English. I am not an English woman. I perfectly enjoyed the game. I played Grand Theft Auto, which is the one with the black guy. 4? No, San Andreas. Okay. I never once thought that I was not being represented. Middle class right now, lower class, fat, bald, bearded guys who can't graduate college. I've never felt that there needs to be a demographic for me. Does anyone else with a brain ever think this? Does anyone look at a TV show and go, because the racial makeup of this individual is not the same as mine, I cannot identify and therefore enjoy this show? What's that Indian chick that everyone is in love with now? Mindy whatever. Okay. Do white chicks... White chicks watch that show all the time. Do any of them go, oh, well, she's Indian, so I don't get this. And by the way, aren't there a bunch of effing stereotypes about Indians in there? Buddy, if you don't... First off, it's not important that you are represented by Hollywood, because Hollywood doesn't matter. Second off, if you want to be around more Koreans, maybe you should move to Korea, where the Koreans are. I don't know, did I just sound like Trump right there? But this is why people like Trump. Because you have these people saying, look, America is a white country. At least 62% of the population is white. That is Western European descent, okay? And then the next biggest one are blacks. And then this next small number is Hispanics. Modern day advertising would make you believe that it's that your next door neighbor is going to be, Rohingyan with Swedish adopted kids. That's not how it is here. So you have a bunch of white. So you have these people saying basically that I'm Korean and I'm special and you need to represent my small group. And we go, why? And then they go, Well, because. Well, I don't give a shit. There, we'll just say it. And I've got friends who listen to this. I know I have at least one friend who is an American. She is a captain in the U.S. Army, and she's freaking awesome. And she is of Asian descent. She's Thai. And there is one Japanese person that listens to this. Maybe she might not listen to this one. I don't know. But I don't have a problem with them being... I don't have any problem with them being Asian. That's not my beef at all. My beef is you're either an American or you're not. And your race has nothing to do with it. Okay? My friend in the Army, whom I have an immense amount of respect for, I know that before she says she's Asian, she's an American. And my friend who's in Japan, before she's anything, she's Japanese, and I like that. I like it when people are proud and they have a sense of national pride. Especially when they bring this national pride to an extreme in nationalism. I'm joking. I don't much care for nationalism. But the point is, dumbfounded, your Koreanness does not matter here. Because this is America. And I think that's why a lot of people like Trump, is because a lot of people are saying, no, it does matter. And so, because our whole lives we were told race doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what race someone is, unless they're not white, and then it does matter. And now all the white people are saying, whoa, 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 how come they get to be treated specially and I don't? If race is a super important part, I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about, I moved to Japan. I moved to, let's say Namibia. I moved to Namibia, and I consistently marry a white girl, and all my kids marry white girls. So my lineage is 100% white, but they lived in Namibia for 200 years. Are they Namibian? Or are they white Namibians? What does it mean to be a Namibian? Do you have to be black? What does it mean to be an American? Can you be a black American? Can you be a Mexican that's an American? There's a great quote by Teddy Roosevelt. Let me see if I can find it. That I really like, and I think it's really important that we listen to it nowadays. Where are you, Mr. Roosevelt? Here we are. This is what it says. We welcome the German and the Irishman who becomes an American. We have no use for the German or Irishman who remains such. He must revere only our flag. Not only must it come first, but no other flag should even come second. And I agree with that. I am for immigration, but I'm for assimilation. If you're going to immigrate to this country, then you need to become an American. The problem with that nowadays is that as a country, we don't know what it means to be an American anymore. The fabric of America is slowly just kind of becoming loosening. It's not torn apart yet, but it's loosening because everyone's offended at everything. What does it mean to be an American? What does it mean? I know what it means to be a Japanese person. It means that you're ethnically Japanese. But, what does it mean to be an American? Is Mr. Dumbfounded an American? Does being an American just mean you have an American passport? If you're a hyphenated American, do you get to be an American? If you move here from another country and still think, let's say you immigrate from Antarctica, and you're an Antarctic American, and one day we say, F penguins, we're going to go over to Antarctica and kill them all. Because the penguins they melted all of our ice caps because they wanted warmer water. Whose flag do you side with? Antarctica or America? My ancestors were from England, Scotland, and Sweden. And the Latham family has lived in America, at least my line, from like 1857, I believe. So 169 years? No. 150. No, okay, so 159 years. Almost 160 years. I have no allegiance to Scotland, Sweden, or England. My allegiance is the United States of America, as long as the United States of America does the right thing. So, if Koreans need to be more represented in Hollywood, then who else needs to be more represented in Hollywood? Rohingya? Hmong? What other super small... What other demographics how much further can we break down and divide American people to see who's represented? Is the fact that your congressman is a white male, does that mean that he doesn't represent you? My congresswoman is a black female named Mia Love, who I voted for and I agree with her stances. And her being black and her being a female have really nothing to do with why I voted for her. So what does it mean to be an American? Where at least I know I'm free. Something for the men who died and gave that right to me. Whatever. But I hate that. I hate this whiny little bitchy attitude that people have that feel like they're not being quote unquote represented. Well, then go and represent yourself. Does Mr. Dumbfounded feel bad that because the Friends stars aren't Korean? What if they were Korean, but they didn't act? There were absolutely zero stereo. All the characters stay all the exact same, but their faces are Korean. Is that not whitewashing of Korea? Would people not complain and say that they're taking away some of the most Korean things? That there's more to being Korean than looking Korean? And aren't they right? So how far do we have to go? How far are we going to go? I'll say this, Mr. Dumbfounded. You're not going to listen to this, and I don't care. But quit being such a pussy. There's my advice. Puss. Oh, how long's the show? How long have I been yapping for? Son of a bitch. 46 minutes. Son of a gun, I mean. But thank you. We're going to, we'll cut it right now. Thank you guys for listening. Those of you who have made it this far. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, after this, why don't you post in the Facebook group? And maybe we can... Oh, I love this phrase. Open a dialogue. God, there's a few phrases in this world that boil my blood more than when people say, well, at least now we can talk about it, or at least we can open up a dialogue about it. That pisses me off. What the F have we been doing for forever? God. Now I'm upset. Okay. But I'll have another question for you guys to answer today, when you'll be listening to it, because this is live, but it's live right now because I'm recording it live. But when you hear it, it won't be live. It'll be recorded. But we'll have some new questions, have some new stuff coming up. Talk about a little bit why I hate nature in the next show. And I'm going to try and see if I can put in MP3s of my favorite music afterwards so you guys can... I know a lot of you have really bad taste in music, so I will help you by showing you my awesome music collection. It's not all super heavy metal either. So, but thank you guys for listening, and have a good night. And I love you. And see you. Love you. Bye.